I'm Colonel Harold Sanders, and I'd like to tell you a little bit about my Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Hey, you two coming?
You go ahead, honey. I want to talk to these folks a little bit longer. And now, I said Kentucky Fried Chicken. There's only one way to cook Colonel Sanders Kentucky Fried Chicken, and that's my way. We always use plump, young broilers, always fresh, never frozen chicken. It's cut in pieces, and each piece is dipped in milk and egg wash, then into seasoned flour, in which we have the 11 different spices and herbs for flavor. One more thing, folks. It's the only way that you're going to get chicken that is finger-licking good. And I'd be mighty proud to have you try Colonel Sanders Kentucky Fried Chicken. Mighty proud. Excuse me a moment, will you please? Hey, look at there. Didn't I tell you it was finger-licking good?
Kentucky Fried Chicken. If you want Kentucky Fried Chicken, you have to visit me.
Welcome, O wanderers of the wavelength, to the inner sanctum of the chilluminatti. You didn't find us by accident. You were tuned in. Behind this veil of shadow and signal, we gather, not to follow, but to question. So light your candle and lean back 33 degrees. Close the blinds and forget what they told you was real.
You can't go on, and you're weak, sinking low. Should I fall out of love my far in the night to chase a feather in the wind? Within the glow that weaves a cloak of delight, that moves a thread that has no end. For many hours and days that pass ever soon, the tides of cause the flame to dim. Unless the arm is straight, the hand to the loom. Is this the end or just begin? All of my love, all of my love, oh, all of my love to you. All of my love, all of my love, oh, all of my love to you. Cup is raised, toast is laid.
Well, the moon sank as the wind blew, and the street lights slowly died. Yeah, they call you the wild one, said stay away from her, said she could love no one if she tried. But then something I saw in your eyes told me right away that you were gonna have to be mine. Only the strangest feeling came over me down inside. No matter what it takes, I never get over how good
It's Saturday night. Somehow you made it into the inner sanctum. Somehow you made it inside the walls. I'm gonna hook these guys up here in a minute, and we'll get to talking about some of this stuff that's been going on. It's good to see everybody over here in the chat room. What's up, S90? We'll hook you up. I don't know where Rio is. I see Epic Journeyman's over there. We'll see what happens with CAC. We'll get this thing going. It's the chilluminatti. I know I came in a little strong. I was listening to Megadeth a little bit before the show, and I was feeling a little angst.
Dark of the sky, the light of the moon, the solitary figure will be home very soon. He has braved the storms of time, his life is on the line. He's been praying to a Savior, please take me away ship has a lot to fear. He hasn't seen home in almost a When darkness falls, he goes by the stars, getting directions from Jupiter and Mars. It was he who created this life. He is fighting for his life. He is longing to see his wife and his family. The man in the ship has a lot to fear. He hasn't seen home in almost a year.
Alright, Epic, I just called you, man. Try picking up that phone this next time here. I'll give you again.
Well, my mind has been blown about some things that don't seem right. And my gun is cocked and loaded. I hope I get me some sleep tonight. Well, I don't know I'm wrong. It seems like nothing is right. Well, I don't know I've been wrong.
All good.
I hope I get me some sleep tonight. So take it nice and easy. Chorus in the pit. Don't let your mind push those things like a lot of my friends did. Just keep me out of LA. Things are crazy out there. The people that I've been meeting, seems I've got to beware. Well, I don't know I've been wrong. It seems like nothing is right. Well, I don't know I've been wrong. I hope I get me some sleep tonight. So take it nice and easy. Leave the chorus in the pit.
Effective public literature support takes more than innovation. It takes vision. At Human, our free supplements.
She lives on Love Street, lingers long on Love Street. She has a house and garden.
happens. She has robes and she has monkeys, lazy diamond-studded flunkies. She has wisdom and knows what to do. She has me and she has you.
Epic Journeyman. Are thou?
I am here.
Excellent.
One of my favorite songs.
All right. Hey, listen. Adjust your audio for the
I
appropriate.
did.
Okay.
So yeah.
All right. Yeah. Just you're a little loud. S90's there. I see you. You're muted. Okay. Listen. We'll get this thing rolling here in a minute. Just stand by. Oh yeah. Well, it's finger licking good, like we were saying last night. 2 weeks. 2 weeks. It's a brand, man. It's like Kentucky Fried Chicken. On June 21st, 2025, President Trump announced the U.S. forces had carried out massive precision strikes on 3 major Iranian nuclear facilities: Fordow, Natanz, and Isfahan. Trump stated the bombers and missiles exited Iranian airspace safely, declaring the operation very successful and a spectacular military success. 6 B-2 stealth bombers dropped 30,000-pound bunker buster bombs on the underground Fordow facility. Additionally, U.S. submarines launched approximately 30 Tomahawk cruise missiles targeting Natanz and Isfahan sites. Timing and coordination of the strikes were executed in concert with Israel's earlier strikes, making a clear U.S. entry into the conflict. Military timing. Some reports suggest the attacks occurred around 2:30 a.m. IRST on June 22nd. Welcome into the microcosm. It's hard to be a chilluminatti when this kind of stuff's going on. All right, Epic Journeyman, come on in and let us have it. What's exactly going on with these strikes? And tell me, what you're thinking as far as, have you seen any of the damage reports? Anybody seen any of these?
We don't have pictures yet. We just have reports, right? So we don't know how much damage it really did. These 30,000-pound penetrator bunker busting bombs, the Moab mother of all bombs, it's nicknamed, right? They don't have to be dropped from B-2 bomber, by the way. They can be dropped from a cargo plane. So I also thought that was kind of funny. Like, they had complete air superiority, so they didn't really need a B-2 rather to come in there and do that, right? Stealth bomber. They didn't. They could have flown a C-5 if they wanted to, but the fact is they did it. That's the important part. And what Iran has always had in the bag is the idea of these supercells, these snipers and these antagonists who are going to be deployed with suicide vests and whatever throughout the world to go do this asymmetric warfare against their enemies if they ever get removed from power. I mean, that's their plan. It's been their plan for 50 years, basically, since 1976, I want to say, 79, after the overthrow of the Shah. So I have some personal experience with this, I had a coworker who was Persian by birth, and he picked up a guy whose motorcycle ran out of gas back in 1986. And we were working for RCA Service Company at the time as defense contractors. And he gave him a ride, and this guy invited him to a beach party. And And this beach party was comprised entirely of people who were in a sleeper cell from Iran. This is back in 1986, right? And I told him, hey, man, I'm not going to say his name. I was calling Bob. Hey, Bob, you need to tell the FBI about this. You can't just keep that to yourself. You have to tell them, right? I don't know if he ever did. And it's not important to the story we're trying to relay today as much as it is the fact that they were there in 1986, right? So it's been going on for a long time. Those sleeper cells are here. It's not like this is some imaginary thing. It's not like a threat that just, is idly thrown out there by the Ayatollah. This is a real thing. It has been that long, for decades, right? So I'm not really too thrilled about this because, look, Iran, they have young people who want that government to be overthrown. They do. And regime change is the best option. If we can pull that off somehow, that'd be great for them and us, right? It'd be great. But in the meantime, the COVID lockdowns are going to look like nothing compared to this because everywhere you go, every public place you go is subject to a suicide bomber, subject to a sniper, subject to all this stuff until this gets remedied. That's how they're going to play this, man. They are. And we've known that this whole time. That's why we never attacked Iran. That's why. It's not because we didn't have the power to eliminate their facilities and stuff. We've had that the whole time. The only reason we didn't do it was because of this very thing. And, it just seems to me like this was like we wanted, when I say we, the administration, I mean, we, not us, the people, but the administration want to get in on it. Like, man, Israel's been so successful lately. Let's get in on this, man. Let's get in on the winning, right? Let's put our stamp on it and say, we did this too, right? And, dude, I just think they unleashed the dragon, man. They did. It's I hope I'm wrong, man. I hope I'm wrong, but I don't think I don't think so. And for all of us who hated what the COVID lockdowns were like, it's going to be a lot worse now. You have to show your papers everywhere you go. You thought the Gestapo looked bad the way it's developing now. It's going to be that much worse and amplified now because where can you go? Man, hey, man, we make sure you're not some kind of a, Iranian insurgent, right? You got to show your papers. You got to have that real ID. You got to have your eyeball scan. You got to have all that. You can't just go to Walmart anymore. God damn it. You have to make sure you're not going to Walmart to blow it up. That's what's going to happen. And we brought this on ourselves, man. We did. And I just think it's a stupid thing. That's my opinion. It was stupid to do this. It was stupid. We didn't need to.
S90. What's your take on this whole thing, man? You there?
Oh, thanks for having me on, first of all, Jimmy.
Yeah, no worries. Glad to have you, man.
So I'm not going to go into I'm not looking at this sort of geopolitically like epic, but I'm kind of gaming out where does this go? Like, that's kind of what I'm thinking of. Like, what? And so the first thing that I noticed is I sort of noticed that in the past, we've been exposed to a lot of kind of Iran before and after memes, and we know that memes are kind of the new avenue for pre-programming and getting people primed for certain ideas. And so this has been in the cards for a long time, and I think this is like a key juncture in their plan or whatever, right? I think that if Iran, I think that, if they quote unquote pull this off, right? If they pull off regime change in Iran, the rest of the Middle East is going to fold up into the Abraham Accords, kind of because of the other work that, the Kushners and Trump and all that have been doing in the region. And I think one of the things we're going to see for sure is we'll see the return of the Crown Prince. And what I base this on is whose events the Crown Prince is speaking at. He's at the events of this, some people may know him, one Rabbi Shmuley Botich. Does that sound familiar to anyone?
Not right off the top of my head.
Okay.
I'm kind of...
Well, he is a very famous... He's almost... He almost acts over the top and hateable on purpose, because then the people that are with him are really with him, and the people that are against him have all this... Like, he was just on the Alex Jones show a couple of days ago, and he was fighting with Alex Jones, saying why this needs to happen. Alex Jones would be beheaded in Iran. And this Rabbi Shmuley Boteach, it's a very hard character to kind of pin down. I've been doing a lot of research on him over a couple of years. He's close friends with RFK Jr. They hang out at each other's house. He was the personal rabbi of Michael Jackson, right? Mark Levin. There are a bunch
that's
of
pretty
people.
interesting. Hold up. The Michael Jackson connection I find extremely interesting.
Okay.
You're like-
you're
you're
can you
twice
follow up
as-
in a little bit. I don't know. Go ahead and continue, but I want to come back to that. Circle back to
Okay,
that.
I will go back to that. But so this Shmuley Boteach is a very influential, very pro-Zionist character, and he's got an odd team of contacts and friends, excuse me, around him, such as the Crown Prince of Iran, who will speak at his events. And so I predict we will see the return of the Crown Prince, right? We'll see the regime fall, probably flee or something, and we'll see the return of the Crown Prince. The Middle East will all of a sudden be more peaceful than it's ever been in however long, and they'll gather around the Abraham Accords and whatever the new things they're working on. And I think while the Crown Prince is installed, what we're going to end up seeing is, speaking of pre-programming, one of the old mediums, TV, there's a show on Apple TV called Silo, and I might have mentioned it last week with you guys, but at the end of the season, it doesn't spoil much, but they mention Iran and a boom that's kind of dirty. I don't want to say keywords or whatever, but a kind of a dirty cloud around New Orleans. This show's 2-3 months old at this point, so that kind of came rushing back to me recently, and I'm curious about that. So I kind of thinking we might see a narrative emerge, whether it's true or not doesn't really matter, about a package escaped. Package of material. They got one briefcase out just before the bunker busters came, and I almost feel like such an event, a limited event, although devastating and horrific, it would play right into that idea of denuclearization, world governance, world togetherness, de-weaponization, sort of the crystal hippie age of Aquarius kind of vision of what the New World Order, a single event like that in New Orleans, like Silo was saying, would really change the perspective of those weapons and any nation that refused to give them up. Right?
Well, you gave me an idea right there that I hadn't really contemplated before, and I contemplate a lot. I try to think a lot of things through, and I'm surprised I never thought of this one. So by you suggesting that Iran launched a dirty bomb, that's what you're saying, right? With the fissionable material they have, it's not good enough to make a nuclear explosion, but it's good enough to poison everything around it and cause fallout.
Hopefully not, but yeah, essentially.
Yeah. But that's
whatever they had
idea,
on
right?
hand. Whatever they had on hand that could make it out.
Isn't that possibly, when you talk about missiles being the delivery system, the mountain that comes from the sky that brings wormwood that poisons the water in Revelation? It is, right? It could be. It absolutely could be. Maybe it's not a meteor and it's not an asteroid. The things always assume it is. It was actually a dirty bomb that poisons the earth. That's possible, man. It is. So one more reason not to let this happen.
I hadn't thought of that.
Yeah, right. One more reason not to let this happen. And I'm like, I just don't know why this was necessary. It's not necessary. They didn't need to do this.
This is all part of the plan. Iran has been on the books as something the CNP and the powers that be have wanted for a while, and I think that the specter of radiological disaster will work, and that's what they want people to build towards. They want people to be afraid of these things so they could de-weaponize. That's what Alex Jones told us in 2005 before suddenly Palantir is a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I don't know anymore,
the thing
guys.
about,
I don't know anymore, but
the first thing about it is, number one, there was no congressional approval. There was no declaration of war. Somebody was told to surrender, and then they were given 2 weeks to surrender. And They didn't. I guess it's within the 2-week period. So, but the thing is that number one, I'm going to add you to call Rio standby. So, number one, most of what was destroyed today was centrifuge facilities, where they were, taking their uranium and bringing it down, So, but they're saying that most of those materials that were in those facilities were already moved out of there. So, I mean, number one, the first thing that comes out of their mouth is all this material had been moved out of facilities. So what does that do? That only prolongs the war, doesn't it? Wouldn't you want somebody to think you've been destroyed and taken out? Why would you come straight away and just kill, come out there and say, well, we moved most of that stuff out of there, So, it's a prolonging of whatever's going to happen. This is far from over at this point. This is really only just the beginning, really. And so my question is to you both, and this is something that's crossed my mind since this started, was now, there's, first of all, Pakistan has nominated President Trump for the Nobel Peace Prize. I knew about that last night, and I didn't say anything about it because I wasn't sure it was real. But
it sounds farcical, right? It does. It's farcical.
Especially since they just came in and said
farcical. Yeah. Good pun there.
Especially since they just came in and said that they were going to support Iran against Israel a minute ago. Now Trump's taken this step, and so the point is that where's this gonna end up now? Are there going to be boots on the ground? Is there going to be a draft? I hear there's absolutely no remorse anywhere on any of these news outlets, the Fox Newses, the CNNs, this and that. Everybody is on board, just like it was the Iraq War, but it's not Iraq War. This is not Iraq. Iran is not Iraq. Iran is completely different than Iraq. And this is, like we were saying last night, this is the kind of thing that never ends until there's not one person left. This war will never end if that's a war. So, my question is, if Pakistan and Turkey and these people are going to back Russia, Russia's going to back Iran, then if we're at war with Iran, does that automatically make Russia our enemy in in the war that they're already in?
Well, yes, it does.
So
they have
we
a
can attack
agreement with them.
So we could attack right away from there with whatever we already have in there to go right after Russia the minute they do something. Right?
100%. Yeah, that's exactly what this means. I think it's kind of lost in the ether, if you will. This is, Russia made a strategic agreement with Iran and North Korea and China, right? It's like NATO for them, right? That's what they did. And Russia didn't come to Iran's help, but we attacked Iran, so that means we're basically at war with Russia right now. And I don't want to play that down. That's what that means. And it's just amazing to me. It's like if let's say Russia attacked Finland, right? Well, we're at war with Russia once that happens. Absolutely, 100%. That's Article 5.
Here's the thing.
100%.
Here's the thing. If that's the case, then where do you stand as far as Trump is concerned? Because you were completely concerned about him aligning with Putin, and now he's clearly not with Putin at all. So does that change your mind about Trump or your opinion about him?
No, he wants to declare martial law. In my opinion, that's always been his game. He wants to not have the 2026 election because he's impeached afterwards. When that's always been his plan. He wants to seize the voting machines or not have a vote at all, ideally, and that's his plan. So to me, it's a protectionist impulse from a juvenile mind. That's my opinion. So to him, it's not really about the global chessboard. It's about keeping himself in power, and this will help him stay in power. It will.
So if you're using nuclear power in your country, you want to have nuclear power, and someone attacks that and stops your ability to have the things that you need in your country, do you think you'd have any second thoughts about just shutting down the Straits of Hormuz? Are Americans ready for $25, $30 gallon gasoline?
That's what's going to happen. It is going to happen, 100%.
That is
Yep.
yeah.
No, that's not a joke. That's exactly what's going to happen. So we're going to have to spend all our time and resources trying to demine and declutter the Strait of Hormuz, and we're going to have to, all those boats and ships are going to have to go through the Mediterranean, out down the Horn of Africa to go to different places, unless they, go around the other way, but into polar waters. I mean, luckily the Northern Strait is a real thing. It's navigable for a good portion of the year now. People can go that way maybe, so it won't impact us as much as maybe we think. But it's still going to raise the time involved and the resources involved to make it happen by 50% or so. So if you have $4.50 gallon of gas here in Maui, it's going to be $6.50 gas, right?
So here's an assessment of what's going on. Okay, authorization and domestic response to strikes were ordered without explicit congressional approval, raising constitutional concerns. Lawmakers like Thomas Massey, Ro Khanna, and Jim Himes question the legality under the War Powers Resolution. The U.S. MAGA coalition remains divided. Hawks, Lindsey Graham supported the action, while non-interventionists like Steve Bannon and Tucker Carlson opposed it. International and legal backdrop. Critics cite possible violations of UN Charter Article 51, arguing no direct threat existed and no UN or congressional mandate was secured. Global response ranged from Western calls for de-escalation and condemnation from Russia, China, and the international legal experts. So there's some legal questions. But I guess, what's done is done. I guess they can ask all the questions they want at this point. It's not going to undo the dent in my front fender, is it?
No, it's not. No, it's not. But if you hit that dent in the fender, and it turns out that you make a girlfriend of the car that you hit, it ends up being good for both people, right? Sure, you have to repair the fender, but it's okay. So in a way, the analogy there is that if regime change happens, and there's a lot of people in Iran who want to embrace the Western culture, it's a really young society. Like there's better than half the people are under 20, and better 75% under 30. They want that. They don't want to live under the Ayatollah, man. They don't want that, right? So maybe it'll end up good, But I mean, it's wishful thinking. I mean, it really is, because people in charge don't want to. They're not going to let go easy. They're not going to. They're going to have those snipers. They're going to have the suicide vest bombers out everywhere. They're going to do that. They are, and we have to be ready for it, because asymmetrical warfare is like that. That's how it works. They're emboldened by the idea that we left Iraq and we left Afghanistan and we left all these places, we left Vietnam, because of why? Because the resources got too much for us to keep spending all the time. It wasn't that we were losing the war in terms of body count. It wasn't because we didn't blow up more things. We blew up more things by far, right?
But Epic, there's one thing that's different now. Drones. Little ones going in windows, flying in with cameras, facially recognizing, knowing, X-raying people with thermal vision, being like, "Oh yeah, look, that's a grenade on this."
I have one, and it just blows me away how good it is. It is so good, man. Like how stable the camera is and how stable the flight is. I mean, it's amazing, man. It's amazing.
So, and imagine what Anduril has, right? Because that's right, exactly. So they don't supply, like they test things. They tested loitering munitions in Ukraine, like drones that just hover there with a grenade on them, and then when someone walks beneath them, they just turn off and fall on them. Anduril is going to go and give everything it has to Israel and to the new Iran that's friendly with Israel, right? And so what we're going to have is these pockets of quote unquote loyal, whatever you want to call them, Iranian, these fighters, and they're going to do the guerrilla battle styles, and Anduril is going to evaporate them, and one will make it past the wire or whatever, and we'll get that. I don't know. That's kind of what I see happening.
It's a justification for martial law, right?
These. Yeah, that too, and for more public checks, and for having people at every door with a Geiger checking everybody, just
real
just to
ID.
Get people used to all kinds of scanning. Just it doesn't matter how they scan you. And this is something else I wanted to go back. You were talking about when you've got the dent in your fender, it's in your fender, right? What's done is done. And that's how Trump operates. So in another channel, people were asking, is he going to declare war? And I was the only one who said no, because he's too much of an egotist to declare war. He is the kind of person he's almost like a bully who punches you and then makes up with you before the principal shows up. And he's like, no, we're all good here. We took care of it. You know what I mean? He gets his results and then acts like nothing's gone on and goes and just continues on with his life. And then justice and the media and outrage can't keep up with him, the wake of destruction behind him that he leaves, of all these things where he's done something extrajudicially or, in a gray zone, legally questionable, ethically questionable, and then he just moves on. And no one has the time to catch, none of it catches up to him because he's moving so quickly, in a way.
All right.
So
I don't know if you guys are going to be able to hear this. I'm going to play a 1 minute and 21 second clip of Netanyahu. I just posted it in here. So if you don't hear it, you can listen to it yourselves. But everybody else will hear it. So here we go.
Your bold decision to target Iran's nuclear facilities with the awesome and righteous might of the United States will change history. In Operation Rising Lion, Israel has done truly amazing things. But in tonight's action against Iran's nuclear facilities, America has been truly unsurpassed. It has done what no other country on earth could do. History will record that President Trump acted to deny the world's most dangerous regime the world's most dangerous weapons. His leadership today has created a pivot of history that can help lead the Middle East and beyond to a future of prosperity and peace. President Trump and I often say, peace through strength. First comes strength, then comes peace. And tonight, President Trump and the United States acted with a lot of strength. President Trump, I thank you. The people of Israel thank you. The forces of civilization thank you. God bless America. God bless Israel. And may God bless our unshakable alliance, our unbreakable faith.
There he goes. So there it is, Rio, if you want to. I put it in there if you want to. It's like a minute and something. So, Rio, did you work on that piece from yesterday at all?
Yeah, a little bit. Got some stuff.
You want to bring that to the table? We got about 20 minutes before the top of the hour.
Hey, Rio.
Hey, S90.
Yeah, so I literally forgot to add you to the call, and then I remembered and you're already in there. So
I think there's something to this peace and strength stuff, man. You're going to find something good there.
Oh, I could check out the Netanyahu after.
Yeah.
But, I do have some of the Trump that Trish requested.
Yeah.
Hope Trish is listening.
Nice.
Go ahead.
So let me see here.
It's Ground Zero Plus. It's in the microcosm, the Chilluminatti edition, Saturday night. It's rockin' real.
Give me a second here. Give me a second. I gotta.
Epic Journey is here.
S90
is here also.
Well, here we go. All right. So, there's a couple bits here. One of them, here, I'll play the forward part first, and then hit the reverse. So, hang on. I got an echo going. There we go. Okay.
There was a nuclear age, but nothing like it is today. And it looked like I'm right about the material that they've gathered already.
All right, so it's talking about the nuclear age, and he said I paid the lawyers the rest of it, and drive it out. My guilt will deny. Right, so he's
I paid the lawyers to
I paid the lawyers the rest of it.
drive it out.
Drive it out.
My guilt will deny it.
But my guilt will deny it. So, I guess he's not feeling guilty about taking up the nukes because he's got lawyers to back him up. And then the next thing he says, yeah, that city, kill with thunder, terror he'll punish you with. So that kind of sounds like biblically apocalyptic to me.
Wow.
Yeah, the city kill with thunder.
Right? The city will kill with thunder. And then it says, the terror he'll punish you with.
The terror he'll punish you with.
Totally heard it.
All right, and then the next part, the question going forward was from the reporter was, do you think Europe will be of any help to you? Let me get to that here. Come on, stop moving. All right, here, this piece.
It's time to see whether or not people come to their senses.
All right, so the reporter asked him, oh no, that's the wrong clip. I'm sorry. This one says it's necessary. This mark will be planned without issues. Also biblically apocalyptic.
It's necessary. This mark will be planned without issues.
It's necessary. This mark will be planned without issues. And then let me get to the European one here. This is the European one.
Europe is not going to be able to help in this one.
20.
Right, so Europe is not going to be able to help in this one, is what he says forward. And then in reverse, he says they might have been able, but the concept was buried.
So
they might have been able, the concept buried. And then the last one I got here says, I'll see till they fix this, just damn them all. Where is it? You're gonna find it. There it is.
Well, then my intelligence community is wrong. Who in the intelligence community said that?
Right, so the intelligence community is wrong.
Oh.
And he says, I'll see till they fix this, just damn them all.
Oh, so you didn't even fix this, just damn it. Oh.
That was probably the best one yet.
Yep. So, I guess he doesn't know, like, and the indication was, of course, after that statement that, Tulsi Gabbard came out and said, hey, wait a minute, that the question was loaded, because they misquoted her to him, and he's, she said they're both on the same page, and he, his reverse says, he says, if that's what they said, then they're wrong. And then he says, I'll see until they fix this, is damn them all. So that's a pretty congruent response to that comment.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That's interesting. But, the thing is like, what we got to do is realize that hypothetically, it would seem plausible that a group of people could come and make sure that certain things were definitely going to happen if you got into office. In other words, I'll guarantee you will be president, Rio. If you go on down the corner, strip down to your underwear, and bark like a Russian wolfhound until you draw a crowd.
Mm-hmm. So, woof woof.
All right, listen, we're getting to the top of the hour. It's Ground Zero Plus. Don't forget we're listener supported, and we'll probably open up the phones a little bit later. Before all this happened, I had a... hang on a second. I had a thing that I wanted to get into, which was, and I don't know if you guys saw this, I will break this down for you. On June 13th, 2025, 4 prominent technology executives were directly commissioned as lieutenant colonels in the U.S. Army Reserve. I don't know if you guys heard about this. It's the new Detachment 201. the Army's Executive Innovation Corps. Where do you hear who joined the reserves? Shyam Sankar, CTO, Palantir. Andrew Bosworth, CTO, Meta. Kevin Wheel, Chief Product Officer, OpenAI. Bob McGrew, advisor at Thinking Machines Lab and former CRO at OpenAI. The purpose of Detachment 201. The unit is designed to accelerate AI and data tech integration into U.S. military operations, serve as high-level think tank and advisory panel, and bridge the gap between the cutting-edge tech and national defense strategy. The commission are part-time, but the roles carry full officer rank and authority, bypassing boot camp and traditional service. Yeah, sounds good.
They're basically just billionaires who have been given rank in the army. And the name of their organization, you know, whatever it was, Unit 201, it's just a ripoff of Unit 8200. Some of those people were in at Unit 8200 as well.
It's like it reminds me of Event 201.
Yes, Event 201. So there's very interesting choice, isn't it?
Marketing familiarity to the American people. They don't remember that 201, and plus 201 is 3. And how many bombs did they drop on Iran? 3.
6?
I don't know. How many facilities did they take out? 3. 6 bombs, 3 facilities.
But they used. I heard they used all 6 on the one in the mountains, and they used 30 Tomahawk missiles on the other 2.
33.
Dun dun dun. Well, someone in chat said that the Crown Prince, the son of the former king of Iran, that he is a British Mason. So that kind of doesn't surprise me at all. That's exactly who I would expect them to install.
Well, he knows how to take an oath. This is Ground Zero Plus.
Under blue moon I saw you, so soon you'll take me.
It's the top of the hour. Let's take a little breaky. We'll be right back.
Cancel it though, I know it must be the killing time. Unwillingly mine. Fate up against your will. Through the thick and thin, he will wait until you give yourself to him. In the starlit nights I saw you, so cruelly you kissed me. Your lips a magic world, your sky all hung with jewels. The killing moon will come too soon. Fate up against your will, through the thick and thin, he will wait until you give yourself to him. Don't ask me what you know is true. Don't have to tell you love your precious heart. I was standing, you were there. Two worlds collided, and they could never tear us apart. We could live for 1,000 years, but if I hurt you, I make wine from your tears. I told you that we could fly, 'cause we all have wings, but some of us don't know why. I was standing, you were there. Two worlds collided, and they could never, ever tear us apart.
It's Ground Zero Plus.
You were there. Two worlds collided, and they could never tear us apart. You were standing, I was there. Two worlds collided.
Saturday night. It's Ground Zero Plus. Sitting here with Rockin' Rio, S90, and the Epic Journeyman. Clearly the Golden Toad has dropped his load all over Iran. Just better hurry up and get that Golden Dome installed. 831. I guess we better hold off. We'll open the phones up in a few. So the Golden Toad dropped his load. No more pink clouds. It's time for a dirty black summer. Rock and roll. Were you able to reverse Sharpton organic style on that Netanyahu clip before we move on to the other issues? Are there any other issues, really? I mean, really? Isn't this really the main vein, so to speak?
Seems to be the big obvious one right now, right?
Yeah. There you go. What are you going to do? All you can do is just sit in your little Adirondack chair, smoke a big fat one, and just wait for the big flash and the heat blast. I'm just wondering if Silicon Valley is going to be on the hit list, or if it would make more sense just to straight up take out New York. I'm not sure. It's going to be either Rio or Jimmy in this, I think. There'll be no middle of the road. Maybe you two, Epic, just, because you're over there in the Pacific.
I'm out of the way. Yeah, I'm out of the way.
You might want... I'm just saying, there is material worth getting rid of over in Hawaii. And I don't mean you. I just mean there's lots of military stuff there. I'm sure.
On Oahu for sure.
Yeah.
No, Hawaii is one of the most protected places from ICBMs there is on the planet, and one of the most protected places there is from aerial assaults on the planet. So I feel pretty good about our chances, actually. But the thing is, I don't feel good about like the whole suicide bomber sniper thing, because they're going to hit us.
Hold on, Mike.
Absolutely.
Mike Davis in the chat. He's from Jersey, and he's saying the drones are back over in Jersey. And you know what's funny, man, is remember when they were saying there was an Iranian mothership off the coast, and that's where those drones were coming from? Do you guys remember that?
Yeah.
Remember that shit?
It sounds like a song, right? Iranian drones. I feel like it's like an 80s beat to it, like the what's it called? The
Somebody should search
kick.
that. Somebody should search that story, man. The Iranian mothership.
Jimmy. I'll find it.
Yeah,
for
just
you.
to refresh our memories about it.
But you guys are forgetting that the Golden Toad's Golden Dome deals with flying objects. We're not gonna be seeing. There are no ICBMs that you need to worry. Like it ain't that, Jack. Right? It's what we talked about earlier. So they now need to make golden net around the country, golden wall around the country. It's going to be a lot of different things they're going to have to make around every shipping port, around every airport, every random piece of wilderness next to the ocean.
I think you need to come down to the post office and get your eyeball scanned and bring your birth certificate along with you, because we need to know who's in the country. We can't have all these unknown faces running around this place. We need to.
There's a threat out there.
Well, there's no knowns and no unknowns, according to Donald Rumsfeld, if you recall.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is the thing that cracks me up. Like it's so easy to pivot and make this like a thing people will buy into, right? Hey, man, one suicide vester, guy blows up in New Jersey, and next thing you know, the whole world's under surveillance, right? You gotta have your papers everywhere you go. You gotta show your real ID everywhere you go. You gotta get eyeball scanned everywhere you go. I mean, it's gonna make the lockdowns we lived through already look like nothing.
Well, what do you think about this now? Does this tie directly into this now? Because listen, here's the controversial aspects of these military guys, right? Here, military needs rapid access to elite tech and talent. Why? Because they're going to be out there scanning eyeballs everywhere. Why do they all of a sudden need these high tech guys showing up? Because there's going to be tech out there they're going to need to use, right?
Well, yeah.
This is the integration of these new eyeball scanning facial recognition booths that'll be everywhere when you drive down the street. We've got to root out the enemies. We don't know who they are. It's just like Epic was saying. It's the eternal fear of the sleeper cells. Yeah, man, some dude came here like 40 years ago to be a sleeper cell. He's been sitting here this whole time, living the American life, living it up, going to strip clubs, getting drunk.
On barbecues.
Now all of a sudden he's going to get that phone call. Is there going to be a moment of doubt that these sleeper cells are going to do what they're going to do? Or are they even sleeper cells? I mean, at this point, how do you know who they are when they're running around dressed in black with those masks over their faces? And they're wearing all that gear.
Dude, it's Eric Prince's Blackwater guys, dude. That's what those guys are. If the people snatch people on the streets, that's who they are.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were talking about the people who might,
do an
event in the country.
You're right.
Yeah.
I diverge.
Either way,
we're talking about both things.
No, the same thing is the same thing. I'm just saying when bombs bombs go off and bullets get shot.
It don't matter. Your fender's dented, right?
Exactly.
That's kind of the point. Like we know, like genuinely, really speaking, there could be people from that country who are so ticked off about what happened that they would do that if they had that chance.
Let me say this.
There's people who would fake doing it as those people to get what they want. So either way, if it happens, shrug.
Let me just say this. Let me just say this. All the Iranian people I've ever come in contact with and met have been super nice and super cool people. Okay, I've never had. I mean, you know, I'm just saying, based on my own personal experience, it doesn't mean every single person from Iran is a good person. That's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is, most of the American people that I've met that had come here from there and became citizens, they were good people, doing good shit, having a business, you know, doing whatever.
Yeah,
they're just living their lives.
My dentist is Persian. Yeah, exactly. I mean, you know, so that's the thing. It's not like they're all bad people. It's not the way it is. But the radicalized element, the Shia militia, is the thing.
Okay,
I mean, it's like they're Proud Boys. That's what it is. Right? It's just radicalized people.
Hey, let me ask you a question, man. A serious question. You know, so when there's conflict and strife and struggle in the world, and there's supposedly this place called America that used to come around and make everything all right and this and that, you know. But it turns out that's really not the case, is it? I mean, and so if we're not there to bring sanity to a situation because of the kind of leaders that we have in place and the people and the negotiators and all the people we have in place, if we don't have the ability to make a peaceful conversation happen at a table around some war, which we clearly haven't been able to do in any of the conflicts that we've been in, I mean, what will make it stop if there's nobody to negotiate? When will it stop? When everyone's dead? I mean, or, you know, mostly been dead or, you know, wounded? Everything's fucking destroyed. Where's the voice of reason, homie? That's what
there is none.
I think the sad truth is that negotiations that were happening in the past, that was part of the plan too. They're like, it would have never happened organically because they were, you know what I'm saying? Like, they stopped as a working of the plan, and they were happening as a working of the plan. So they were never going to amount to anything anyway, and this was always going to happen. At least that's the way I kind of see it. They telegraphed this for years and years and years, right? There's no level where everyone's equal. Trump thinks he's above everybody else. Who's going to tell Trump what to do? Who's gonna sit down? He
erased all those people. He got rid of them.
No, I'm saying saying to you, what person on this planet is going to call up Trump, invite him over for a conversation, sit down to him, and have him listen to reason? Who
I would if I could.
There is nobody.
But I don't have that ability.
There's nobody on this planet.
Yeah, that's the problem.
I hate to say it, Jimmy, but Daniel 8:25 essentially says that. It says, in a time of peace, he will destroy many, and he will even stand against God, right? Stand against the Prince of Peace, against Jesus, right?
He starts looking like the Antichrist every day, isn't he? He is.
Well, it feels like he's trying out for the position, you know, and he may or may not make the cut.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely the lawless one. I mean, there's no question in my mind. Like that, he's always been the lawless one for years. So from a biblical perspective, he has been. But it's almost like, there's certain criteria that have to be met before you become the actual Antichrist, right? Yeah, and it's like he almost wants to. Like you say, he's trying out for the position, like because it gives him power. He wants the power. It's not. He doesn't believe in the Lord. He doesn't believe in the prophecy. He doesn't believe in all this stuff. He just wants the power, and the Antichrist is a powerful persona, and he wants that. And if he could have it, he would. He wants that, right?
And I think we'll find that when Rio reverses that thing where Trump talks to God for just about 10 seconds, and it was the most awkward.
I was surprised he said that
thing I've ever seen.
He stumbled over it too, like you said. Yeah, it's weird, man. It's weird, and I'm hoping the best will come out of this somehow, but I just don't see how it can happen. And it's weird that, to me, the weirdest thing to me about all this is like the two last wars America got involved in.
Check this out,
right? Iraq and Iran, right? The cradle of civilization, Sumer and the Persians, right? I mean, going back strictly to the Bible, going back exactly to Babylon and to the Syrians, right? I mean,
Yeah. Well,
wow,
listen,
man.
Listen, man. Ronan's in the chat saying Alex Jones was posed the exact question today by Steve Bannon. If he had 5 minutes with Trump, who gives a fuck if he has 5 minutes with Trump? You think Trump listens to Alex Jones?
No.
You know, Alex Jones gonna go over there and talk some sense into him? Man, come on. Seriously.
Well, it came out, remember, that Elon's black eye was the result of him fist fighting with Scott Bessent in the White House, right? So I guess, you know, any kind of disagreement, everyone seems so angry and so violent now, you know?
I'm
Seems
angry
even
and
a
violent
disagreement with,
right now. I'm angry and violent right now.
right now. But no, but, you know, even a disagreement in the White House comes to blows. It all seems so strange. I can't quite put my finger on it, but
I know, it's just the thing is about it, the violence and the rage mostly is because people are so frustrated because they can't get any kind of you know what I mean? You see the aerosol.
Well, they don't get a win. They just don't get a win, right?
You see the aerosol disbursement in the sky. You see the planes flying. You see the particles coming out. You see the aerosol trails across the sky. You know about it. It's killing you, but there's nothing you can do about it except stand on the ground and shake your fist in the sky. Okay.
Like the Breakfast Club at the end, right? You know, I think it's more than that. I think what's happening is it's the lack of a clear win. Like there's never an absolute clear win on anything. Even when you have a win for a day, it's only for a day, man. It's only for a day. There's never the conquering the enemy, the vanquished enemy, like things that are, you know, time immemorial things that were considered.
Exactly.
And we don't have that. We never get that.
Exactly. You're keeping you in a
seconds.
constant state of going around like a rat on a fucking wheel.
That's
never getting
how they
anywhere.
would torture people.
Exactly. That's what we were talking about last night. We're talking about this, they want to torture the population with psychological operations.
Yeah. And it's the exact technique, right? It's like, oh, yeah, look, the door is open. Oh, you made it just down the hall. Oh, we were waiting for you. Whack, 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 whack.
Exactly.
Hey, but you got down the hall. Good for you. Now go back to your cell, right?
Give me your pants. Like, that's how it gets, man. And like they do that with inflation, right? It's like, oh, an event happened. Your money's worth less.
Yeah, man. It's hard.
Yeah.
It's a hard pill to swallow, unfortunately, for everybody. You know, that's nothing really we could do about it, really, is there? I mean, what's going to happen now? Protests in the streets, and then what? You know, I don't know.
Jimmy,
more.
I hate to quote a terrible person as Che Guevara, but sometimes just existing is enough, right? We've just got to exist. Keep existing and look for a chance to make a difference in the world for the better.
Well, maybe you know the thing about this that bothers me the most is that we're in a situation where we're pushing Russia into a corner, aren't we? Like I don't mean like we're doing it. I mean they did it themselves. They're the ones that invaded Ukraine. They're the ones that did all this stuff and tried to take over the old, Soviet. Not so. You know, the Queen. Her version of Russia at its peak, right? But it's like, well, no, you don't have to do that, Vlad. What's wrong with you, man? What's wrong with you? But he's got this in his head. He's going to do it, right? And now because he has this alliance with Iran and North Korea and with China, right? And he didn't stand. He's embarrassed, man. He's embarrassed. If Iran gets its ass kicked, and it looks like they are. I mean, they are getting their ass kicked, right? Okay, they can have all the suicide bombers they want. We're going to suffer here in America for it. But, you know, I mean, in the big scale of things, Russia didn't back up Iran, did it? They didn't back up Syria. Oh, they let the ruler of Syria go live in a hostel down in Moscow. That's all they did for him.
Yeah, weren't they
right?
bragging about how many, or maybe that was Syria that had so many Russian air bases in it, like 12 or something,
they're all gone now. They're all gone now.
Oh, okay. Oh, sorry.
And down in Africa, Ukraine is actually sending their own troops down into Africa and freaking kicking Russia's ass in Africa. right? I mean, that's an embarrassment to
There's
the
another
highest
theater
degree.
in that war now.
Yeah. So what the hell? Like, we don't even hear about it, but it's there. It's happening, right?
That's
like this is a real thing. Like they're going down there and kicking Russia's ass, where they're trying to get all the mineral rights and all that stuff to these communities and people down in that darkest Africa, right? And kicking their ass, man. So what is going on now?
This is
so Russia's being embarrassed. They're being put in the corner.
I would say if I was looking at the landscape, I would say this would be the moment where this incredible peacemaker will arrive and make peace across the planet. For how long? How many years? 7 years? Is that what it is?
3.5, depending on how you interpret the Bible. Yeah, it's 7 years, right?
He said you get 7 years, but you actually only get 3.5 years of my golden
Right,
piece.
yeah.
He's 2 days for Iran. Okay, now it's 2 weeks. Okay.
There goes the Skype call. Well, hopefully Rio will come back and rehook that up. I'll wait and see. I'm never far away from the music. But here comes Rio. Hang on. It's Ground Zero Plus. It's Teams. Mine's Jimmy. Here comes Rockin' Rio. There he is. You gonna hook up the rest of the gentlemen there, Rockin' Rio?
Yeah.
Right on. You hook them up. I'm always got something, I can do over here.
All right.
So, what are we gonna do? I don't know. I'm saying right here when the call dropped, I was saying it looks like it's time for this peacemaker, because we were saying, who is there in this world? I mean, does the Pope even have that kind of? I mean, does he even have that kind of respect where he comes in and everything just calms down and everybody just starts making sense? I don't know. It doesn't seem like it. It seems like there needs to be a council of 12 somewhere where they all sit down at this table in Astana.
Well, I'll tell you what,
I want to see the guy put his hand in the golden hand.
The golden hand of the golden toad.
In the Astana.
I'm hearing Van Halen.
Yeah. All right, listen. Listen to the microcosm. Climbed all the way up to the second page on TalkStream Live. We're almost in the top 10.
You got me captured, I'm under your spell. I guess I'll never learn. I am your picture, yes I know it well. Another page is turned. Are you for real? It's so hard to tell from just a magazine.
All right, seems to be in order. Rock Rio, or that? Have you now acquired the target?
Yeah.
Bruce McDonald
I'm not
is
done with it, but what I got is quite substantial. And
Bruce
very
McDonald is
clear.
calling in. Go ahead.
Punxsutawney's calling in?
No, Bruce McDonald was calling in on Teams, but if I took his call, it was going to end this call.
Oh, well, do you want me to add him?
I guess so, yeah. I mean, he's there. He wants to join in.
All right. Let's see if he picks it up.
All right, go ahead.
Such good photography. I'll wait till your love goes down. I'm coming straight for your heart. No way you can stop me now. As fine as you
Hey, California homeowners, did you know that right now you can cost me thousands of dollars by free CD. Looking back at that, they're not.
This is Saturday night, chilluminatti. Rocket Rio's here, S90's here, Epic Journeyman's here. We're joined by Bruce McDonald. Bruce, welcome in the microcosm. Stand by, we were just about to get into something here with Rocket Rio. How you doing, Bruce?
I'm good. Hi, guys.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, Bruce.
What's up, Bruce?
Hey, Bruce.
We listened.
Hey, guys.
Rio's reversing Netanyahu's little speech that he gave, and he was just about to come back with some information.
Do it.
Go ahead, Rocket Rio.
Yeah, this is deep. So that 1 minute and 21 second clip.
Yeah.
Since everybody heard it, I will just
play it again just to refresh everyone's memories.
Play the forward?
Yeah, go ahead. Just go ahead and play it just so everybody can hear what he had to say.
Okay.
Peace through strength.
Your bold decision to target Iran's nuclear facilities with the awesome and righteous might of the United States will change history. In Operation Rising Lion, Israel has done truly amazing things. But in tonight's action against Iran's nuclear facilities, America has been truly unsurpassed. It has done what no other country on earth could do. History will record that President Trump acted to deny the world's most dangerous regime the world's most dangerous weapons. His leadership today has created a pivot of history that can help lead the Middle East and beyond to a future of prosperity and peace. President Trump and I often say, peace through strength. First comes strength, then comes peace. And tonight, President Trump and the United States acted with a lot of strength. President Trump, I thank you. The people of Israel thank you. The forces of civilization thank you. God bless America. God bless Israel. And may God bless our unshakable alliance, our unbreakable faith.
Okay. So, I don't have the first 30 seconds done, but I have the other 40 seconds done. And it is all one continuous reversal. As if it was completely scripted to be that way.
Interesting.
Yes, and there's a few words in here that I don't understand. I don't know if they're Hebrew words or just names for some of them, but the message is very clear. So let's see. We'll start right at the back end of that. It says there, huh?
No, I say, all right, yeah, I'm ready to hear this now.
Okay, it says, therefore we cared not. Hold on here.
Therefore we cared not.
Stale laws, right? Therefore we cared not for the stale laws. And then it says, well, I think it says Boogish, but it says, will Boogish now sell a bargain? He loves to sell bond. And I'm not sure, I mean, if that's a name or someone involved in the situation, but...
Boogish now sell bargain.
Right, well, Boogish now sell bargain. Loves to sell bond.
Loves to sell bond.
I promise a bond.
I promise a bond.
And he says, and this one sounds a little weird to me too. He says, we called the Shizzlewiz, and I don't know if that's a German name like Shizzlewitz or Shivowitz or could be Shivowitz. This was his offer. Right, but I think it says the Shizzlewiz, and the reason for that is the following references that keep coming up to the wizard. It says, be careful, civilian people. We can't fail, Master Wizard.
It almost sounds like lizard.
Well, Could be Master Lizard, Master Wizard.
Master Lizard works pretty good, actually.
Well, just play it again, man. I swear I thought I heard it say lizard, but I could be wrong.
President Trump, Martian lizard. President Trump, Martian lizard.
I think it says Master Wizard.
Well, it would make sense. Isn't the MAGA the highest degree of
Right?
Yeah. Go ahead.
And it's directly where he says President Trump, right? Master Wizard.
Mm-hmm.
And then he says Master Wizard, right? And he says, "Thanks for all you repay."
Mr. Bombs actually go. Thought he built the perfect hideout. But what the Americans dropped on him was
I hear something
crazy.
in playing.
Yeah, I don't know what that
Rashid
is.
was bragging to his officers about their new bunker 300.
Sorry, thought I was on mute.
Go ahead,
Yeah,
Rio.
there you go. Okay, and then it says, "States that are needed, Master Wizard, God has met."
Yes, Martian lizard. Yeah, isn't it?
So God has met the Master Wizard. See, it's making it. Let's make serve.
See, it's making it. Let's make serve.
Let's make serve. See, it's marking it. Let's make serve. That sounds like. And then the next line here is the creepy one. It says, "Next you'll see it. Yes, then fall down and bow to the wizard."
Next you see. Yes, the fall down at Martian lizard.
It says, seating it, he reads a verse to his friend.
See, stop verse to his foot.
And all you not sealed in the deal, I'll make it.
No, you're not sealed in the deal.
You severed a vein, but it irks him.
You severed a vein, but it irks him.
This push nails it. Sit in hell. Search your heads once over.
Yeah, this push nails it. Hell, search your heads once over.
So, what do you think?
I think you better bow down to the Master Lizard, dude. That's what I think.
Well, it's funny because he says we can't fail the Master Wizard, right? And then he says, "Thanks for all you all repay," and that's where he's talking to Donald Trump. And then see, it's marking it. Let's make serve. Next, you'll see it. Yes, then fall down and bow to the wizard. So, it says the mark will make you fall down and worship the beast. Is Trump the beast?
Well, I think about that statue, that golden statue they made of him wearing shorts and the Stars and the Stripes shirts with the golden, the Good Witch Glinda's wand, basically, where he's a wizard, right? And people bow to him still. That actual statue in Mar-a-Lago, it gets given as a gift to him. What's that about, man? Like, why would somebody even make something like that? And why would Trump keep something like that? That's, to me, the most interesting thing. Like, it doesn't mean that it's real. It just means he wants that power of people believing it is.
Doesn't matter. He just unilaterally just made a decision to just bomb a country. He doesn't give a shit what you think.
No, that's what everybody should take notice of, right?
Yeah, Bruce McDonald, welcome in, my cousin. Sorry,
you guys.
We were just getting through some of this reverse Netanyahu.
Yeah, no worries.
So, what you thinking, man? I know you've been, I'm sure you've been talking a little bit about whatever's going on in this whole leading up to this. I know you have been ever since I've known you. So,
yeah.
How do you think this whole thing is falling into place with the Third Temple? Because I think Rio brought up last night. Rio, what did you say last night? The temple, the land for the Third Temple or something?
Oh, the land for the Third Temple has been purchased.
So
they're going to actually build it across the street from the current temple, I believe.
Yeah, no, they're going to build it right where the Alaska Mosque is. That's what this is all about. Yeah. Everything else is just a distraction, I think. And there's a kind of you guys are pretty occult literate. I know Jimmy is. There's a geomancy to this, right? It has to be on that exact site, and it doesn't necessarily mean that it was the site of the second temple. It's about the affront to existing norms in our time. It's really that simple. It's about saying we're going to build it there because that causes the most mayhem, right? It's really that sort of petty. So how do we approach this topic? First of all, who's the most literate person on the round table tonight about the difference between the Shia and the Sunni, and the reason that the IRGC was created after the Ayatollah took over in 1979?
That's a good question.
Anybody?
I'm not sure. I know quite a bit about it.
Probably.
Well, I know quite a bit about it, but I'm not going to say I'm an expert.
Go ahead. Take your best guess, Epic.
So basically, it goes back to a time in 700 AD when Muhammad had died, right? And there was a conflict between the uncle of him and his nephew about who would take over. And that became the Shia and Sunni faiths, right? And so basically, the issue is more about kind of a religious fervor aspect on one side, that's the Shia side, and a rational kind of incorporation of everything into a reasoned. I hate to build up Sunni this way, but that's kind of how it is. But still really strict, interpretation of Islam.
Yeah.
And so. But there's radicals on both sides. Like Al Qaeda is Sunni, right? Al Qaeda is Sunni, and what we're dealing with the radical Islam on the Shia side is every bit is horrific and terrible, right? So it is about educated people versus uneducated people, relatively speaking. I mean, really, that's what it breaks down to, in my opinion.
And then
and they do it. And they do it in such a way, right, that they are both radicalized.
Well,
like in other words, it doesn't matter how educated you are. You're radicalized.
Erodigan saying, let's forget about our differences for now, and let's just come together as a force against the infidels. So, and let's put our differences aside for now until we'll talk about our differences later. We'll solve that later. What about that, Epic?
That's not going to work. It's not going to work because the divide between Shia Islam and Sunni is so vast that they will never, I don't think, ever agree on something like that. They won't.
It's like Northern Ireland on steroids, Jimmy.
yeah, they just won't.
I saw
Pakistan.
I saw Pakistan and some of these countries all jumping in on the bandwagon, though. Sort of almost in agreement with the kind of the statement that Erodigan made. I mean, he made this a while back. He didn't just say this. This is years ago that he said this. Go ahead.
Can I raise you guys World War II as an example? Two ideological, complete opposites. Yeah, you just fight on different fronts. Your soldiers don't hang out side by side. You send the Sunnis one way, you send the Shias the other way. There you go. You're cooperating, kind of.
Interesting.
But you just don't have to be brothers.
There you go.
Like the Russians and the Americans, right?
Okay, Bruce.
Okay.
Why did you ask the question?
So here we go. So I think they killed those heifers on the 2025 Passover.
You do?
Well, yeah, because they haven't been. There's been no update on them, and ever since I published The Light of Darkness and I did those Brian Rue interviews on the Third Temple, for the love of God, I don't know how this happened, but somebody put me on the Third Temple mailing list. All right, so I get all the updates, right? So I was, because I said in those interviews that I actually think the temple should be built, and I stand by that to this day. I think that it's, Islam has at least a half dozen holy sites more important than the Alaska Mosque, and to the best of my knowledge, Muhammad never was there. And they could easily, as a gesture of world peace, just give it to Judaica to build their temple. But there's
his flying horse thing. When we saw the world, he landed on that rock that Abraham offered up Isaac. That's the Dome of the Rock. That's the mosque, right?
Yeah.
So he did go there in that interpretation.
Yeah,
So I'm not sure. I did want to talk to you, Bruce. I'm so glad you called in because, dude, I got to go to the airfield in Molokai. I've been to all those places, Molokai from Light of Darkness. I've got to see them personally, and I've been waiting to talk to you.
Did you go to the leper colony? Nobody goes there. You got to have special permission.
I went all over the island, dude. My friend here on Maui is from there. He grew up there, right? And I got to see all these places, dude. He took me all these places. It's just wild, man. So yeah, I wanted to talk to you about it because it's like, man. It's one thing to hear about it like in a book or to hear you talk about it or other people relay the story, but to actually go see it, it's a trip, dude. It's a trip.
Yeah.
That place is haunted, dude. It legitimately is. It is.
Yeah, so hey, a lot going on my end. We'll get to it later. It's not related to what's in the news or anything, but I've had some really good news. But so anyways, you guys, this is a trip, okay? So the IRGC, its main mission is to guard the Alaska Mosque to prevent the temple from being built. Okay? So there's a context Western media never gives us. Hamas was told to do October 7th, probably guided by Tehran. Now, Israel knew because, they know as soon as any high-ranking official in Iran farts, lets out gas, okay? So as soon as they knew that Hamas was going to attack, I think they started to shape it to their own objectives, and they would easily allow Israelis to die to get that sympathy, right? I don't mean to go too dark here, but we got to stay within a certain Machiavellian lens here. I mean, Tel Aviv is nothing if not Machiavellian. I think we can all agree on that, right? Mm-hmm. And so that all went down. But the reason that the untold story behind all of this is the temple, because as soon as they bought those three red heifers from Texas, it was on.
I know that's the thing is you're bringing that up tonight, and I'm glad you did because I remember when those heifers were being talked about, and then the whole thing just seemed to just disappear. I mean, everybody just quit talking about it for some reason.
Well, the rabbinical circles in Israel are the most powerful ceremonial magical organizations in the world, barring the existence of some rare offshoots in the black nobility and stuff like that, who may have original, Sumerian and Babylonian and Egyptian texts as well. But they're in terms of what the public sees, the rabbis are the most adept practitioners of ceremonial magic on the planet. Now, let me just throw a curveball out. So Passover ended, I think, in like April of this year. Am I crazy, or has there just been a different vibe in the air since April, like March, April, right? Like something shifted. You could almost feel it. You could almost smell it, like a tinny smell in the air. Okay, and I'm pretty sure they did the ritual, and so they're getting ready to, and they're on a clock too, right? So 2027 will be 333 years since the Bank of England, which is where the march towards Israel begins. Make no mistake about it. If you think this is an accident of European countries wanting to get rid of their Jews, like Hitler wanted to repatriate to Palestine, and Lord Balfour was not a friend of the Jews. He was actually a wicked anti-Semite, so he wanted them removed as well. But it's been them the whole time, and so that they're going to hit that 333 year mark, and then you get into all the sort of astral technologies that the rabbinical circles are so adept at. There's a geomancy to this, there's an astrology to this, there's a gematria to this. So I'm thinking 2027 is the year they they start construction. And when they start, they'll have it done in 3 months. Like, this will be the fastest build you've ever seen in their life.
Isn't it already built and it's going to modular? That's going to be just placed in place.
Do you know anything about the? Do you know anything about the building? Like, it's really freaky. The details, like the stones cannot be cut by a saw. Everything about it. Everything about it is kosher. Like, they in the old days, they used to use a kind of a worm that would chew through the stone. It's really freaky, man. And then when you read up on the red heifer sacrifice, that will be the first time the rabbis have done that ritual in 2,500 years. So what we're seeing is this magic bookending the age of Pisces, like two bookends. It's absolutely fascinating to watch if you have the right perspective, and quite frankly, if you're in a safe place.
Bruce, it's very fascinating that you've said that they're going to sort of conclude the age with a massive ritual, because there's been a lot. There was a book, I can't remember the author now, but it was basically about, quote unquote, reviving Pan. Okay, and this guy believed, sort of like American Gods from Neil Gaiman, that if you prayed enough to a dead deity, you'd essentially bring it back. And there was a whole bunch of literature out there about sailors' testimonies, oracles, essentially basically saying that when Jesus was crucified, their power vanished, that the dark magics were essentially exiled from the world, the ancient magics were exiled from the world until that sort of end time. And then I want to reverse at you real quick. Your idea of them gifting the dome for demolition is genius. I think that might actually happen. And kind of the Uno reverse of that would be, and I know you said you don't believe that, but it's a possibility that, and a lot of CNP evangelist propaganda, like Tim LaHaye's Left Behind, posits that the Antichrist coming in peace will construct the temple. It's like, oh, look, the plans say it goes next to the dome, so both can exist and we can be brothers and nobody has to get their feelings hurt, right? Doesn't that kind of match the 21st century sentiment of feely wheelies?
Well, Brother Bartholomew from the novel 666, I remember that. Yeah, the thing about that is that we have this golden opportunity, if you're looking at this in perspective of like an AI. You're not looking at it like religious, you're not looking at it from a fundamental this Christian perspective, you're not looking at it from an Islamic perspective, you're just looking at it as an opportunity. All of a sudden, there's this opportunity for a stray Iranian missile that just hit the dome of the rock, isn't there? There is. And I think it's going to happen. It might happen.
Well, I mean,
we've had that
would be a complete and utter failure of the IRGC and Iranian mission, which is to protect
the Iranian Republican Guard, for people who don't know what IRGC stands for. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I could see. I could see the U.S. and Israel hacking the computer guidance system of an Iranian missile and driving it into the Alaska Mosque. Absolutely.
And it doesn't even have to be like a warhead on it, because they're launching missiles at warheads now because they're out of warheads. So basically, Russia. I mean, excuse me, I said Russia, but I was about to say Russia. But Israel is really successful in hitting their missile batteries. There's not a lot of them left, So they only have so many. So it's going to be something dramatic. It's going to be that they're going to do next. It's either going to be an actual dirty bomb, or it's going to be something like that. I think
I gotta say, guys, there might be some kind of rule. There might be some kind of loophole. Who do we know who's famous for loving loopholes? Anyway, there might be some kind of loophole where it's like, if the building becomes structurally unsound, the city must take possession of it or something, right? So it's like a drone clips the corner of it, and it's like, oh, I gotta bulldoze it.
Eminent domain, yeah. Part of what Walmart there or something else. God damn it, we gotta go ahead and put
part of what Rio found in his reverse speech was that Trump, when he was talking about Tulsi Gabbard, that interview, he said he checked with the lawyers already. So, Rocket Rio, are you done with all that, or you got anything else in that last bit?
I do have a little bit more in that last bit that while you guys are talking, I've been kind of listening on the side here.
So
go ahead, Bruce.
Go ahead, Bruce.
It's a fascinating time to be alive. Now, if you read up a little bit on the core beliefs about the end times that Chabad Lubavitch has, it's the things about that Chabad is saying. When you read them, you go, "Holy cow! This is not religious mythos. This is the present state of technology." They're talking about the dead being resurrected. Well, we can do it. We brought dire wolves back in 2024. I mean,
and
the
Grandma's
dire
cat
wolf
logs.
has been extinct for how long? 30,000 years.
And we're bringing back the Smilodon, saber-tooth tiger, right? And we're bringing
Yeah.
back the mammoth next. Yeah.
And bringing
I mean,
back
what's
Grandma
happening?
digitally as a chat bot.
All right, Rocket Reel.
Yeah.
Let us have it, man.
All right, so the next couple lines here is from the beginning of the thing. And it says, states that honor the Edom... wait, hang on, there's one before it.
Hold up,
Okay.
what?
It says, states that honor the Edom system in Mossad we do. See that Lucifer comes now. Read announcement. It's just the law, boy.
Oh, wait, that must mean the harlot then, the Edom system?
Come on
The
back.
Edom.
Let me hear that, man. That is too much. And like I said last night,
That's Esau, right? That's Esau selling his birthright.
like I said last night, Bruce, I asked a question
Edomites.
last night. Bruce, I asked a question last night. Where is his son-in-law? Because so far he's been almost non-existent in this new administration, and it makes me wonder that there's some plan going on with the exact group of people you were just talking about.
Oh, 100%, man. They're all... You got to understand that Chabad is a really new sect. Like, I think it gets its very beginning in the late 1700s, somewhere around the region of Lithuania. But it doesn't really pick up until like the end of the 1800s, and now it's like, holy cow, man. It's like the Opus Dei of the Jewish world. And everybody who's everybody is in on it now. All the billionaires are Chabad. They're all Chabad. And you got to understand that Chabad is as new to Judaism as the Mormonism is to Christianity.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Rio, let me hear this.
Okay, here we go. Hang on. All right.
States that honor
Right. States that honor the Edom system in the Mossad we do. It says, see that Lucifer comes now. Read announcement. It's just the law, boy.
Rio, can you reread the sentence yourself, please?
It says, states that honor the Edom system in the Mossad we do. See that Lucifer comes now. Read announcement. It's just the law, boy.
Well, that's pretty heavy because if you think about it, the Edomites are the descendants of Esau, right? That Esau gave his birthright to Abraham. Not Abraham. Sorry, to Jacob, who became Israel, right? So this is a direct relationship to Israel. So Israel, Jacob, got the birthright by a kind of subterfuge, right?
Edom is the world.
In the extra-biblical texts, Esau just got done killing Nimrod, right? So he's worn out, he's hungry, and he comes back home, right? And he smells the cooking of Jacob as he cooks a stew, and he's so hungry that he's tempted by Jacob to sell his birthright. That's the biblical story, right? And he does, right? But the Edomites, that is this whole thing. Like this whole thing is about these brothers that are literally twins born seconds apart, where Jacob is literally clenching the ankle or the heel of Esau when they're born, right? Who gets the birthright and becomes Israel, which becomes the nation of Israel. right?
And they put the red string on the one to identify them from the other, and that's where you get the red bracelet for the Kabbalah that Tucker wears.
Yeah, and so now we're talking about this coming to fruition, where what's really happening here? It's the birthright of the land, isn't it? And they're saying like, well, no, man, I'm claiming it all back.
It's
claiming
the
it all
law,
back.
boy. It's just the law. It's just the law.
Yeah, that's
just
it, right?
business.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. And I'm somewhat shocked in a way, but not surprised that it's being put to that level, right? Like that is exactly what's going on right now. Like that is what it is. We own you. We own that land. We're taking it. We have the birthright. You don't. You sold it. It's ours. It's that simple. It is that simple. That is exactly what Israel's doing right now. Exactly.
All right. We're out of time.
In between.
It's Ground Zero Plus. We'll be back next Saturday night, 8 o'clock Pacific. You'll find us Friday night immediately following Ground Zero. And Clyde Lewis. Tomorrow morning to Sunday morning, Wake and Bake. Bruce, thanks for being here.
Peace out.
Yeah, take it easy, brother. There he goes, Bruce McDonald. Bruce. You can find his books on Amazon. And, time's up.
That goes quick.
Yeah. All right, listen. We'll catch up with you.
If the world's still around next week, we'll see you.
God bless you.
Just